I'm Linda Bruns with Women Have Needs Too by Linda Q. I started the company because I've always had this passion to help women. Somebody who feels like they're stuck in a rut and have a question of where am I going and what am I going to do to help me get there. The things that I am trying to convey are the things that are about self-care. Help them live their passion, to have them live their fullest life. That's what it's all about.
Welcome to our new format. So much to get to today. HBA 4th anniversary, to gym or not to gym, working out with an injury, consistency over perfection, and finding motivation after a long and dreary workday in the doldrums of winter. All of that and more on today's show. Here we go.
Welcome to your Healthy by Association Weekly Wellness Check with Aaron Wolowick, Angela Pelk, and Jim Thompson.
Welcome, everyone, to our weekly wellness check. It is Friday, January 22nd, and we are in our brand new home on the Be Well TV network and couldn't be happier. How's everyone doing today?
Fantastic.
Doing well.
Good.
Awesome. So it's good to see our familiar faces. I'm going to start with Jim Thompson today. Jim, I know that our Healthy by Association audience, of course, will know you, but for those that are new to the Be Well TV family and, of course, to Healthy by Association, maybe tell us a little bit about who you are and what brings you to the health and wellness community.
Sure. So, yeah, my name's Jim Thompson. I actually come from Raleigh, North Carolina. I work for an association management company here in Raleigh, and I guess I was very involved from some of the beginnings of the HBA community. I've always been I wasn't say always, but just in the past 6 or so years, have been really made health and wellness a big focus of my life, for my family, and obviously for myself. And just being around a community that holds each other accountable was one of those things that was so important to me, and I love being able to share that journey with other people.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jim. Welcome to the show today. Excited to, again, be in our new home. We'll talk about that a little bit more momentarily, but Angela Pelk has been a longtime partner with Healthy by Association. And again, for our family, our community that maybe isn't yet familiar with you, maybe you'll share a little bit about yourself and what brings you to health and wellness.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Angela Pelk. I live in Allen Park, Michigan. I was a longtime supplier to the association industry here, and have transitioned into restaurant ownership, which has been real interesting the last year. But as far as health and wellness, I kind of jumped right in when Aaron first said, what about this health and wellness group I'm thinking of? And immediately I went to my CMP, what are our goals and objectives? And so here we are years later. And I'm just so excited that we're still going and hopefully supporting well our health and wellness association community.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Angela. For those that aren't yet familiar with our format, you'll see a lot more of myself and Jim and Angela in the weeks to come, and we'll have a rotating guest host, guest panelists each week as well. And on our inaugural edition of Healthy by Association on Be Well TV, we're excited today to have our colleague, Scott Oser. So I'm going to welcome Scott to the show and invite him to share a little bit more about himself and kind of his experience with HBA and, of course, health and wellness.
Thanks, Aaron and Angela and Jim. It's good to see you guys again. I'm glad to be back. I don't know how many times I've joined you guys now, but I really value this. I mean, I have sort of over the years, mostly when I was younger, I struggled a little bit with staying healthy and feeling good about myself. And I realized that over time that exercise and eating right and all those things is a challenge, but it can also be something that's very, very valuable. So I think that you guys are providing something, this conversation, this community is very valuable to the association community. So I'm really happy to be a part of it and just help support people in any way that I can.
Awesome. Thanks so much. And of course, thanks for being here today. We have a lot to get to in sort of a short amount of time, as this is our inaugural show and our new look and feel on the Be Well TV network. Just wanted to share with our audience kind of what you can expect each week from us. Again, I kind of shared with you that you'll see a number of our faces each week, plus a rotating guest host or panelist. And really, Healthy by Association is intended to be in this sort of Friday time slot, an opportunity to check in with kind of how your week is going. Have you been focused on your health and wellness, or have you sort of let the week run you down? And as you sort of pivot toward the weekend ahead, kind of set healthy intentions, whether it's about working out or whether it's about eating right or whether it's just about taking some self-care time for yourself. This is that opportunity to check in with yourself, kind of think about and reflect on the previous 5 days, but also to kind of look ahead to the weekend as well. We're excited to be partnering, as I said, with Be Well TV, and we have a new look and format and feel, and we hope you'll give us some good feedback on that. We'll continue to make tweaks over the weeks to come. So topic number one that I just wanted to throw out to the panel, if you can believe it, Healthy by Association began 4 years ago. This week we celebrated our 4th anniversary, and just wanted to open it up to the panel, and maybe you'd be willing to share what Healthy by Association has meant to you over those past 4 years.
I don't know. I'm really excited that we're still going. I mean, I think we've done a lot, and behind the scenes, you know, as a moderator, almost I think I've been since the beginning, Aaron. You know, we've really just kind of been trying to listen to what people are asking for and what people are putting out there to see if we can kind of like ramp those things up. So we continue to evolve as the community evolves and is, you know, participating. So it's sort of this, you know, fluid thing, and it's been really fun to be a part of.
Awesome. Thanks, Angela. Jim, I think you were going to step in as well, so I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, I think what is so neat about this is, you know, when you think about health and wellness, and it's something that we talk about all the time about how, you know, that it really is a lifestyle and not necessarily just some, you know, fly-by-night trend. And so I think with us going into our 4th year now, it's sort of solidifying to me that, in fact, what we're doing is not just something that's just here today, gone tomorrow, that it's something that is kind of starting to weave through the fabric of everything we do. You know, there's so many people sharing their stories. There's so many people that, you know, maybe they don't comment a lot, but they're inspired by some of the things that are shared. So to me, I just think it's great that we'll be able to continue this on, and I hope for many, many years to come as people kind of come in and out of the association community and become part of this community and network of healthy association folks.
Awesome. Thanks so much. You know, it's interesting because Healthy by Association really started as a movement around health and wellness for association and hospitality professionals, and has certainly grown to include a far-reaching community way beyond our wildest expectations in terms of who it was touching. We know that as busy association professionals, as busy professionals in whatever industry you join us from, you have a lot going on. And oftentimes you're helping others, your staff, your teams, your members, your clients, your volunteers, and the list goes on. And oftentimes we don't take enough time to think and reflect on our own health and wellness. We don't allow ourselves the opportunity to work out, to eat right, to move, to sweat, to think and reflect, and to give ourselves some opportunity to rejuvenate. And so this community is really intended to be an intentional escape to focus on ourselves and on the needs of those we serve, as sort of that, many of us haven't been on a plane in a while, but we do know that during those introductory remarks, those flight attendants are always asking us to put on our face mask first before helping others, and this is really an opportunity to do that. So again, for those that are not familiar, we do have a Healthy by Association Facebook community where there are daily posts, tips, tricks, and resources, and we'll encourage you to join us there. But in the meantime, Scott, I wanted to turn to you. Your sort of topic for today was to gym or not to gym. I know you're sort of seeing that boredom set in as you think about working out from home, whether inside or outside. So I'd love to hear more about kind of what you're thinking, what you're reflecting on in this moment now. Day 200 plus work from home, right?
Yeah, I think actually we have coincidentally brought together a great panel for this, because I know that Jim, it's like I feel like I'm gymming you guys to death. To gym, not to gym. Jim Thompson. It's like, how many gyms can we throw in here, you guys? But I know that Jim for a while, and I don't know if Jim Thompson is still going to the gym, but he did go to the gym for a while. So I think we can have an interesting conversation around this. But really what it's been bringing to mind is, and I sort of came up with kind of a catchy to gym or not to gym, right? But is it time to go back to the gym, both mentally, physically? Is it time to head back into that structured area where I know that I would go 3 times a week? And I would go for an hour, and I would be like, all right, even though, I'd goof around a little bit on my phone during rest periods between sets and things like that, I was dedicated to doing 3 times a week. I had my workout that I would change from time to time. And now I'm trying to do all of that at home. And I'm really torn about when gyms reopen, because here in California, which is where I am, gyms are still closed. You can do like these outdoor fitness classes and things, but sort of the weightlifting and all that stuff, we're shut down still because of the number of COVID cases that are going on. But I keep thinking to myself, and it's a lot of different things, right? It's a lot of different things I'm thinking about. Number one is health, meaning am I safe when I go to the gym? And I know that they're all going to do all the right things, but am I safe? Number two, from another health perspective, is to go to the gym, or am I getting enough out of it by working out at home? And then a third one is cost. Right? The gyms here are not, at least close to me, where I don't have to drive 15 minutes, 20 minutes to get to a gym, are pretty pricey because they know they have a limited market, can charge what they can charge for convenience. And the gyms are pretty good. But there's just a lot of things that I've been thinking about, whether I need to go back, whether I should go back, how I stay motivated if I don't go back, how I'm going to stay motivated when I do go back. So I realize that I'm just sort of babbling at this point, but there's a lot there, and there's a lot to think about when I'm thinking about going to the gym or not going to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Angela, I heard some sort of nods of approval, but Jim, also you were sort of mentioned in the three-peat gym sort of thing. So maybe we'll come to you next, Jim. I'm curious if you're still going to the gym and how that's going for you, and kind of what your thoughts are on this topic as well.
Yeah. So I guess it may be quite serendipitous that in the past 2 years I have found a men's workout group that I've been a part of, which meets all outdoors. So when quarantine happened and all the gyms were shut down, we were still meeting as a group outdoors just because it was convenient to do it. And it was one of the things we could do safely outside and still maintain social distancing. So, but I think just knowing that, even if when gyms do kind of open up fully, because I've been able to find a group of people that I work out with that keep me motivated, or at least have kept me motivated in the past, it's something that I think I would probably maintain that, just from what Scott just said. I mean, between the cost, it's just everything else, just the convenience of being able to do it on my own time, with a set group of people that motivate you. I don't know that I would probably go back to a gym at this point.
Jim, I wanted to keep you sort of teed up while we're on this topic of working out. I'll come to you, Angela, in a few moments. I know that you wanted to talk a little bit today about working out with an injury, and so I'm kind of
Mhm.
curious if you might be willing to share your story around that and kind of what you're thinking.
Yeah, sure. So, I guess it was pretty much around September, October. I did something. I wasn't sure what it was, but I know that I was basically able to work out for 1 or 2 days, run 1 or 2 days a week, and all of a sudden I was just having these crazy pains. And finally, over the last I guess last month or so, went into the doctor, and they've diagnosed it as potentially a sports hernia, which essentially, it's not really a hernia at all, but it is an injury that, if if you can't, if you're not able to take 6 or 8 weeks off to recover from it, and then if it's still bothering you, could potentially result in surgery. So, not being able to do the things that I would normally do has been frustrating. Just being able to get out and run, being able to do high impact workouts. And I have to admit, it's been kind of depressing. I mean, in terms of not being able to do those things. So, I've just been trying to find ways to do, whether it's just, started doing this like push-up challenge in the month of January, just because I know it's something that I can easily do. I've been trying to do some, weightlifting with like upper body type things. And I've been, just Saturday, I went out for a bike ride, just to kind of see if I could, because the doctor was saying, well, that's very low impact, so that might be something to do. But I'm sure other people have dealt with it, just dealing with injuries, but it can be very,
Mhm.
between all the other anxiety stuff that I've been dealing with over the past year, it's kind of like one more thing to add to the list of
Mhm.
stuff that, can be really frustrating to deal with.
Absolutely, Scott. I know that over the years that I've known you, and I know that you've been involved in HBA, you've had to kind of work through your own injuries as well. And I'm kind of curious your thoughts on this topic as well.
Well, as coincidence would happen, I'm injured again. I feel like I'm always injured, but it tends to be the same sort of thing. But now the good news is I've got two injuries that I'm working on. So one upper body, one lower body. So the timing couldn't be better. Yeah, I've got something going on with my shoulder, and I'm probably going to end up having a cortisone shot, maybe some physical therapy. It's not horrible, but it's bad enough. And then yesterday I went out to run, and my tricky calf acted up again. So I don't know what to do at this point. I'm sort of just working through it. I mean, I'm at a place where I take some time off and not a ton of time off, because if I don't exercise and I don't work out, I just don't really feel like myself. And so I'm trying to limit the things that I do, but I guess I'm a glutton for punishment, because I feel like these are ongoing things that continue to linger, and I'm not going to shut myself down for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months at a time, because then I just won't feel like myself, and it impacts my life in other ways. So the amount of pain that I'm dealing with, I just continue to deal with. I mean, this morning I woke up, I've got a heating pad on my calf, I've got a wrap around my calf, I'm stretching my calf. And Aaron, I know you and I have talked a little bit before about to what end for these things. And I think that, to me, my life truly does not feel normal or regular, or in many ways okay, if I'm not exercising, if I'm not doing that sort of a workout type thing on a regular basis. So I've made the choice that unless it's something really bad, like unless I know that I tore something, I'm going to keep working on it. I ran yesterday, and I'm not saying this to brag in any way, but my calf tightened up at about 2 miles. And I was like, screw it. I'm going to keep going. And I ran 6 more. Does it feel good today? Absolutely not. Can I walk? I can walk. Could I run if I wanted to? I could. But so that's the kind of mind frame where I am, because I don't want it to be. I feel like the opposite is worse. If I don't exercise, and again, if I really felt like I tore something and I really felt like I was going to do serious damage to any part of my body, I would shut it down. I'm not that crazy, but I feel like if I can do it, and there are no doctor. I see an acupuncturist, Aaron. I know you go to the chiropractor. I see an acupuncturist who does a little bit of chiropractic. I see her on a weekly or biweekly basis. If she said to me, Scott, you know what, you need to shut it down, I would shut it down. But oftentimes our bodies can work through things and just lighten our load, as opposed to stop altogether. And so maybe I've developed this craziness where I've been injured enough that I just force myself through it. where other people would be like, I'm injured once, I haven't experienced it that much, so I'm stopping for a while. But I've jumped over that line already where I'm like, I'm doing it because the negative from not working out would be that much worse.
Well, and I just think, I'll chime in here, and then Angela, I'm going to come to you next for your comments on this topic. But, I think it's important to always sort of take a personal inventory of yourself and kind of know your body and know how you're feeling, and certainly to consult with a doctor in terms of, what you could or shouldn't do in order to further injure yourself. But on this topic of, do I feel more or less human by not working out, or am I just going to stop everything completely and sort of backslide into, no movement? It's a slippery slope for sure. Angela, I want you to jump in here and sort of comment on this, and as you do, maybe also slide into your topic around consistency versus perfection, because I think that's completely applicable here as well.
Totally. I hear Scott saying my mental state cannot handle me not moving the way I move, so I'm just going to move through whatever aches and pains I'm feeling. So I totally get that. It's been a year and a half. I sprained my ankle, and again, like he says, he's used to, aches and pains and, injuries. I am not. I take and I'm not saying you don't, but I take very good care of form and being, more cautious than not. And so I was terrified to walk on it, do anything on it. And so that I definitely set me back into some bad habits. I've worked through that. I've moved through that, all good now. But what I have found in the past year and a half is that I'm not moving as much as I used to. I have not run at all since that injury over a year and a half ago. And I want to get back into it. I know that's when my body feels the best. Even I've recently incorporated walking. And then this new year, I think I've talked about it on our HBA Lives before, is that I have an elliptical machine in the basement. I haven't even thought about it. I don't think about it. I don't deal with it. I know it's down there. But as of the new year, I said, you know what? I'm going to get on here 20 minutes a day. What's 20 minutes? Everybody's got 20 minutes, right? So in doing that every day, I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to get to it. It's 20 minutes. I'm not sitting on the couch, or I'm not, just like hanging out in the kitchen or doing whatever. Like, it's an actual active 20 minutes on top of what I'm also doing, which is walking 4 to 5 miles, 3 to 4 times a week. And I'm doing a new Beachbody program. As some of you may know, I'm a Beachbody gal, have been working at home for over 4 years. I've got like a nice selection of weights over here in this room. This is my workout room. But what I'm finding now is just, instead of being perfect on everything, just being consistent and moving consistently every day. Even if all I get in is that 20 minutes, I'm doing something on a consistent basis, which back in December, I wasn't really committed to any sort of program. I wasn't doing. And if it was too cold or had snowed, I'm not slipping on the ice for a 4-mile walk. Just doing something consistently now has just a light bulb went off saying, it's better to just be doing something consistently than not doing anything at all, or waiting for the perfect conditions to do whatever it is that I feel like I should be doing. So that's been just a big sort of like light bulb moment for me this week, is that this consistency is going to be the key, to getting back to where I really want to be.
Well, and I would just add to that, Angela, that, I've been finding after the holidays, after the new year, for whatever reason, this has not been the case since the start of the pandemic, but in the last week, I'm like, it's a dreary day, or, oh, it's sprinkling. Like, am I going to do that outside thing? Like, and I've allowed myself to maybe create more excuses than I would have previously. And so I think, to your point, just this idea of consistency is incredibly important, and just kind of noticing and being aware of maybe what's inhibiting that from happening. As we
I think you bring up that.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, Aaron. I was just going to say, I think that also goes back to gym or not to gym, right? It's like there's only so much you can do at the gym, but it feels like, to me anyways, I have access to more variety right? I have access to other things that I can do. When I'm at home, I've got some equipment, like Angela said, she does. I've got some, but I don't feel like I've got it all. And I want it all, man. I want all that equipment to like jump from this one to that one to the other one and not just deal with the same dumbbells every day and deal with the same bands every day and all that stuff. So not to interrupt you, but I think that's another thing that I'm craving, that I'm hoping, and when I go back, it will eliminate some of that, oh God, here we go again. And I feel that sometimes, oh no, here we go again, same thing. And it's not fun.
And to really just notice if that becomes the excuse, is the inhibitor really just ourselves as opposed to the actual equipment or what we have access to? I mean, at the end of the day, we've talked about body weights before and how incredibly easy is it to do a number of easy work at home exercises on an app, a smartphone, your computer desktop, your iPad, your many devices, right? And sometimes we allow that to be the inhibitor or the barrier when really it's not at all. And so just kind of noticing and being aware of that, that's certainly top of mind for me this week. But I was going to say, as we sort of reach that 30-minute mark today, I just want to thank Scott and of course Jim and Angela for joining us. This is the first of many weeks in our sort of new home and new format. And I was excited today, Scott, that you could help kick us off.
I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be your first guinea pig. It's nice.
So just a heads up, a few show notes. Next week, we are going international. Robert Barnes will be joining us from Australia. We're excited to have him on the show. We'll also encourage you to check out, Andrea posted today about upcoming accountability and member challenges for the month of January. There's a lot of stuff going on in the community. We hope you can join us there, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
See you guys.